Fuel your body with complete multivitamin, the perfect balance of essential nutrients for daily health and wellness. Carefully formulated from natural ingredients, our multivitamin packs vitamins A, C, D, E, plus key minerals like zinc and magnesium to support your immune system and boost energy. Just 1 tablet a day is all you need. Take it with water and feel the difference as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Stay active, stay strong, stay ready with Complete Multivitamin, your daily dose of vitality. Complete Multivitamin, simple, powerful,
Amazing, and of course, welcome to another beautiful episode of the Pan-African Bliss Show. My name is Joby, to the first time, and of course, returning listeners on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, on our radio, on Spreaker, Spotify, those who get to listen to this in form of a podcast. Hope you guys are having a great day so far, or for those who are listening to me, of course, through the 254 on TikTok, of course, or rather in the 254 on TikTok. And of course, to those who shall be catching this on a replay, of course, also remember to hit that like button and leave your comments behind. Today, we shall be talking about the 81 candidates who are applying to run for the presidential seat. This is in Cameroon. If you look at the history of Cameroon, of course, it has been run and ruled by Paul Biya for the last, literally, say, 2 decades. Is it 2 decades or 4 decades? I'm not even sure. But yes, he has been the president of Cameroon for the last, literally, 2 decades plus, and he's 92 years old. He's one among the men actually who are who are actually looking forward to still vie for the presidential seat. We've seen the same effect happening in Uganda. We've seen Museveni talking about it. And of course, on today's conversation, we shall be checking on the aging African leaders who refuse to let go, because we know we have Paul Biya, we have, of course, Museveni, we have Kagame, who have refused to let go. We also have, of course, Teodoro Obiang, coming from Equatorial Guinea, who we've seen his son flaunting the wealth of the country that they're stealing from the people through the taxes of the people. We also have, of course, Denis Sassou Nguesso, coming from Congo, who has been leading the country for 41 years. It is crazy. And of course, we shall talk about also Ethiopia. And last but not least, also Uganda. So karibuni sana, that's our topic for the day. We shall talk about what is happening also in Kenya. The World Bank has approved 16.5 billion Kenyan shillings to assist 12 million vulnerable Kenyans. What to see wajinga Ruto tafadhali. People are not stupid. The World Bank has approved 16.5 billion to assist 12 million vulnerable Kenyans. Has any of you received the money? Because I've not received the funds. Niko na mashida mingi personally. Naweza tumia hiyo pesa vizuri sana if I am one of the vulnerable Kenyans. But also along that, we shall of course be sharing a video where actually it's changed everything on things not working in the country and blaming the Gen Zs since the 2024 demonstration. Is saying that when it comes to the Ford Foundation, the opposition, the churches, is calling all these people out, and they're saying that the Gen Z's demonstration since last year has made our economy super worse. Ruto is actually using all types of excuses, or trying to figure out all types of excuses he can use to blame Kenyans for demanding what is actually rightfully theirs. We're practicing democracy and we're demanding accountability. That is part of democracy. So why is it so hard for you to deliver answers and be accountable, Mr. President? And last but not least, we shall talk about Togo, where we can see the ruling party has won 75% of the votes. When you talk about elections in Africa, it's just a whole nother topic. Elections in Africa are always rigged. And that's why in 2027, you guys have to be very careful. Sitakuwa advice when you vote, ama vote, but understand your vote doesn't make a change. That is a whole lie and scheme they've been using for so long. Bakaribuni sana, I was playing Sanai Tande, Sanai Tande, and of course featuring Joa Kali, one of the greatest, amazing TBT, Getty Kali. We shall be getting back into that as I come back, of course, to let you guys know what you can get on our application. Ensure you have it on your phone. Blackout Fire Network is the name. We have an active app. So long as you have the app, you can listen to us on the radio. We have shows back to back from morning till late night at 11. And also during the weekend, we have exclusive shows. So ensure you download the app. But for now, listen to us on a very artist writing 254. Karibuni Sana. Of course, I'll be banging and jamming into our songs every single time. Shout out to literally, she's been speaking about our journey in music, and of course, so many people have been questioning Bona Nimediwa. People have been asking why she's not married, and she's spoken out. Literally, she's having issues with bearing a child, and it's really, really sad for any woman who'd be going through this. But this is what we need to go back to. Also, I don't know, natural ways or African ways, scientific, natural remedies where African women used to help themselves or used to get help from the people who understood better how to handle these situations if you can't bear a child. But she's such an amazing, talented legend, literally right here in the 254, still in the industry, giving us hits back to back with, of course, amazing features and herself. But that is not our conversation for the day. Shout out to Isaiah, shout out to Joseph, ananiuliza kama nimedungwa. Sijadungwa, sijadiwam, wa umediwam. Because me, the last time I checked about deworming, it was a launch that was supposed to be happening in school. So I don't know if I was supposed to be deworming. I don't have that information. But Karibu Sana to everyone with me on TikTok, on YouTube, Rumble Beach, and on the radio station. But as we get started with today's conversation, like we said, we shall be talking about what is happening in Cameroon, but to just understand a bigger, wide perspective of what is happening in most of these African countries, because it's not just Cameroon. So many African countries are going through this. We're talking about Equatorial Guinea, we're talking about Uganda, we're talking about Congo, Ethiopia, which have had the longest ruling African puppets. Let me call them who they are. And they don't feel any shame about it. And of course, we see that even in the current ongoing elections, of course, the coming up elections, Paul Biya still is seeking for another presidential seat. I mean, 92 years old of age, you can't talk, you can't even do anything with yourself. You don't even understand when there's meetings and summits being held in your country. You must be guided like a child. It is shameful that we have these sort of leaders, but this is what the Western nation and powers need. And that's why we need to understand the need of unity. Shout to Ibrahim Traore still speaking and speaking, preaching and speaking on the African unity and how important it is. And if we really dwelt on this, and if we were given the right, again, education, history, information, and understanding, a good understanding of how politics should be run, not this fake democracy that we have, not this fake, all these fake terms that we have that don't work when it comes to us practicing them. They need to be all terminated. They need to be dissolved. They need to be dissolved. And because we didn't get to learn all that, this is why this is happening. This is why you've had Museveni. He has the audacity to come and tell you, I'll end corruption. Where have you been for the last how many years of your leadership not ending corruption? You should have tried even in the first year of you coming into the presidential seat. There's nothing you've done. As a matter of fact, you've made your leadership super worse by even invading other countries like DRC Congo through the help of the US who are funding you and Kagame. You're destabilizing other African countries. And yet you believe or you expect your people, who of course are not educated well, they believe that you're really going to fight corruption in your country. This is crazy. And shout out to Kenyans. Kenyans are literally talking about how we need to invade Uganda right now. Because anyone who's believing Museveni needs to go for another presidential seat, you guys are sick. It's crazy. Bakaribu Sana Keith, how are you doing today? Happy birthday.
Nothing Sana, Joby. How are you today?
I'm good. I can't complain. Ready for the day, ready for the conversation right here. Talking about these puppets who have refused to let go of the seats, yet not delivering anything to the people, but their balloon
Oh,
stomachs and, of course,
that's
nepotism.
on that's on purpose. Exactly. That's why the Europeans never get upset about these morons. So much got democracy. You've been here for 40 years. Everybody knows there's no statistical way that you've been any power, any real election that people kept voting for you for 40 years. Everybody knows it's a lie. But they don't never say anything about that. And they'll
Exactly.
say,
Exactly. So, on this article, we have, of course, a small talk on or conversation on. I think your phone is ringing on your end.
I know.
All right. Yeah. So they're talking about the aging African leaders who refuse to let go. Is it refusing to let go Or is it the people who have been kept in fear? They don't know how to fight. They don't know how to demand what is better for them. It's not because they don't really refuse to let go. It's the people who are not educated well enough to understand how politics runs in the country or in globally. This is not even about a country, globally, because politics operate the same way globally. We might have different leaders, different laws, but politics is run the same way globally. And this is why you see countries that are refusing to continue with the same systematic or the same system, the way it has been operating for ages. These are countries getting bombed. These are people getting killed. These are the countries you see the presidents being termed a threat to their people while they're delivering what they're supposed to be delivering. If I'm getting free education, free maternity health care as a woman, I'm getting everything free. What is it that I need to demand outside there? If I'm getting free education, free transportation, free healthcare, everything is free, literally a tax-free country. Why is my president a threat to you, a non-working, an incompetent leader from another country? These are the same things we've been seeing people like Mudavadi pushing when you talk about Ibrahim Traore. Mudavadi is one of the people talking about, oh, these are AI generated videos, while the Burkina Faso is working. Burkina Faso people are working, leave alone even the president. The Burkinabe people themselves have offered to literally contribute to ensure the country is developing willingly. These people are even willingly taking care and providing security for the president because they know assassination attempts have been there and they know who they're dealing with. They have understood who their enemy is. But the rest of the African nations, no, you're told to embrace your enemies. You're told Macron is the best. You're told Bill Gates is here to help you. You're told, this is crazy. You're told why people are here to help you. The lies you've been fed. But let me read this article very quickly as we continue. The aging African leaders who have refused to let go. Of course, we know, as you can see on the screen, we've discussed this before, but I'm going to go deeper again. We have the Cameroon's president, who's 92 years of age. And of course, his name is Paul Biya, who has announced he will seek a re-election in October, aiming to extend his 43-year rule. And of course, he says, rest assured that my determination to serve you matches the urgency of the challenges we face. If I want to look at literally the Cameroon state right now, the rate of poverty, how it has increased or decreased since this man came into power, I bet probably it's worse. Of course, it is worse. Who knows anything about Cameroon? Personally, I don't. Maybe it's ignorance. I've not done good research. I'm not saying all of the African countries are fucked up. They are beautiful places. There are people who have taken care of Africa within the country, or they're taking care of their countries, despite the leadership being so pathetic. But majority of the people are not living a good life. Majority of the people are unemployed. Let me look at the rate of unemployment, what he's saying. Because if you understand what people are really going through, that is his excuse, right? We need to serve you by matching the urgency of the challenges we face. Let's look at if he's really faced the challenges of the youth. What's the rate of unemployment? What's the rate of unemployment in Cameroon? The unemployment rate in Cameroon is estimated to be 3.5, okay. Specifically, the youth unemployment rate for those aged 15 to 24. Why is a 15-year-old working? That is still someone young who's supposed to be winding up with high school. Why is a 15-year-old working? Something you need to do research on very quickly. But yes, they're saying that the unemployment rate in Cameroon is estimated to be 3.5%. Specifically, the youth unemployment rate for those aged 15 to 24 is around 6.23%, and this rate has fluctuated in recent years with a slight increase in the past couple of years compared to the preceding period. I still don't believe really this data, because what has Cameroon built in terms of its economic development? What is it that we can put it, if Because right now, I feel like any African country arguing they have been doing best economically, you should be put on the same measure as Burkina Faso, which has just developed within 2 years. Okay? So there's no you're telling me 43 years of leadership, you're still talking about how you want to deliver and serve the urgency of the challenges being faced. 43 years on the seat. What have you done with that time? Nothing. Getting good suits, eating steaks, ensuring your relatives, your wives are living good. That's what these African leaders do. Put your children, this is nepotism. Put your children, your uncles, your nephews, your everyone in these positions. This is happening in Kenya today as we speak. We just had a governor who appointed his husband's sons because, oh my goodness, on the top positions, while we have people who are qualified, who have gone to school to study for these positions. But no, take a crooked, a D minor type of a person and put them on these positions. To do what? Steal money. Biya re-election bid sparked mixed reaction among Cameroons, of course. One of the persons says, I really thought he would go and rest and hand over to a new generation. That is one of the persons saying. Another person says, it is legitimate for him to be a candidate. It's not a problem despite his age. Someone says, these leaders come in with popular support, but they end up manipulating the constitution, crushing dissent and rigging their way. I mean, is this new? Are we surprised by this? Uganda 80-year-old Yoweri Museveni has ruled for 40 years and is seeking re-election. Of course, we've seen this. Critics say that he has ruled with the iron and has since with a iron hand, has since seized power as a rebel leader in 1986 and has won every election held since then. Of course, 99% of the votes. What do you expect? 99% of the votes like Kagame. What do you expect? The constitution has been amended twice to remove age and term limits. Excuse me. The 83-year-old Teodoro Obiang Nguema Basogo has ruled Equatorial Guinea since 1979. In 2022, he extended his 44-year grip on power by securing a sixth 7-year term. Denis Sassou Nguesso has ruled the Republic of Congo for 41 years. He removed the 70-year age of limit via referendum in 2015, allowing himself to run again. If re-elected in 2026, he will be 83 years at the start of another 5-year term. We have Isias Afweriki. Afweriki, I can't pronounce his name correctly, but he was 45 when he is EPLF topped Ethiopia in 1991, and now 79 is ruled Eritrea over 30 years without holding a single election, despite early promises of multi-party system. This is why Kenya went into demonstration. That was in 1997, if I'm not wrong. The Sabasaba, that's what we really celebrated just recently, when Kenyans hit the streets on 7th of August. Can't remember the year, not sure of the year, let me look at the year. But when Kenyans demanded for a multi-party system, because we had been under a dictatorship for 24 years. A dictatorship where people never questioned, they were comfortable until they realized, oh, there's something called multi-party system. And we can actually have other opposition leaders who can actually bring ideas that match our favor, because it's always ideas. It's not like they implement these ideas. Let me just say that. The oppositions have been put here to just give you hopes. They're not here to deliver the hopes. They're there to give you hopes. This is why you see Raila is there moving like a rat up and down. Raila just recently said he's going to vie for 2027 election. You guys understanding what is happening in Kenya right now? You can't be stupid. You can't be fooled again. You just can't be fooled. There's a whole lot of tribalism scheme going on in Kenya right now. Divide and conquer. And if you're not careful, you're gonna get trapped again. What we were talking about yesterday on the Rhythm Scoop Show. Because it's a confused emotion. It's a confused mixture of emotions of what is happening between excuse me, what is happening among us Kenyans right now. It's a mixture of emotions. Excuse me, I do have a flu, so I'm gonna be sneezing and coughing maybe as we continue. But we also have Kagame, who is of course at 68 right now. Rwanda Paul Kagame is the baby of the group. The baby of the group. Though he has led for 31 years, including 25 as president, once praised for ending genocide and driving development. Indeed, his image began to shift in the late 2000s amid growing concerns over authoritarianism, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And last but not least, we have, of course, they're talking about Paul Biya, tops Africa cycle of aging, long-term leaders but globally, Malaysia, Mahathir Mohamad holds the record of returning as a prime minister for nearly 93 years old of age. So this is actually, again, you can see this is a political problem that we have. This is, of course, how the system has been designed. This is how they want it. They want a leader who's stupid, stupid, because most of these leaders don't reason. We just had tons of trillions of dollars of gold discovered in Uganda recently. We're going to see the Chinese, the other Western European powers coming to scramble. They're gonna take it all. And Uganda is going to be left in the same position. No schools, no hospitals, no good roads, nothing. Your mineral resources doesn't help you in anything. Fine, you do sell your resources. Where's the money going? Your presidents have lacked to provide good infrastructures or companies that actually can process our mineral resources. But where are the funds going? That is a question we still go back to. You look at how African countries export mineral resources, you look at how much they have made. Where is the money? Where is the money? Where is it going? Who is pocketing the funds? Of course, these leaders. This is why you see not even opposition. You'll see these other mini puppets who work for these presidents. They get salary increment every single time for not doing anything but for just playing the corruption game, for understanding how the game works. Thank you for being a good puppet, for working for me, and you deserve a salary increment for doing nothing. That is what I think is about to happen in Kenya right now. We saw recently the president and some of the officials' salary went really, really high as we shift away from the presidents who have held power. Okay, we're going to come back to that. That is just a highlight of the main conversation of what is happening in Cameroon. And of course, to make you understand, again, the rate of, I think it's just, again, miseducation and fear within the people. That's why they're so scared to fight and don't know how to. Most of the people, I don't know, Ugandans somehow, it's just a small percentage probably who can dare question the government. Majority are scared. The same in Rwanda. You don't see Rwandese talking. That tells you fear is completely ruling most of the African countries. And this is why these leaders have the comfortability to come back and vie for another presidential seat, because they think they are okay. They have kept you in order. They have kept you in line. And they'll increase salaries. We have the World Bank, which has approved 16.5 billion Kenyan shillings, billion, not million, okay, billion Kenyan shillings. And this is to improve, they're saying that this is to assist 12 million vulnerable Kenyans through cash transfers, job training, and climate resilience initiatives. Recently, we had Tanzania, which also did the same thing. Remember, Tanzania did take 300, I think it was billion, I can't remember as well, but they took funds from the World Bank. Something Magufuli had fought and kept his country, ensured this country is not going to be under these fake schemes, fake scams and schemes, because it's a scheme very well designed for you to be trapped. Why do we need funds? Why is Kenya taking loans? For what? Doing what? Cash transfers, job trainings. Who are being trained? What do we even have? Do we even have job trainings in Kenya? The last time I checked, we never had any job training center. This is not America. What we saw the other day, it affecting majority of the Black community because it has been helping most of them. We've never had, I don't know, maybe other African countries, but in my own country, I've never seen where we've had job trainings. I've not gone for any job training personally. You have to pay for this shit in school. That is where the training comes in. And you pay, you graduate, you are a jobless person. You've wasted so much funds that you could have actually started a business in the name of being promised you're going to get a job under these puppet leaders who are all about their families. 12 million vulnerable Kenyans. I think I'm a vulnerable Kenyan personally. I'll appreciate, I don't even need 1 million. Half a million would help me, okay? Vulnerable Kenyans, we're so many. If this cash is to be distributed equally, so many of us would benefit. I believe I'm a vulnerable Kenyan, okay? I do need the funds. The job trainings, we need to see them. So many youths are loitering outside there. This is why you see youths have the strength to demonstrate every single day. Apparently today people thought there are going to be demonstration. You can actually sense the fear and the tension outside. Because people are like, youths are ready to just be on the streets every single day calling out your lies that you keep on spitting every time you're taking, especially this kind of loans. And these are the type of blame games you come with, all right? This is what Ruto had to say. Let me share this very quickly. Ruto said because of the demonstrations that have been held since 2024, there's been an increment of a lot of things. He's talking about, of course, blaming the Ford Foundation, which we know Ford Foundation is very much deep in Kenya. He's blaming the Ford Foundation for funding the demonstration, which we saw this happening last year. Excuse me. We saw this happening last year, where he was blaming Ford Foundation for funding the demonstration, which we know the demonstration were not funded by anyone. So many people were arrested. Those who are in this political power being accused of funding the youths. No one was being funded. These were Kenyans uniting without an opposition, tribeless. Again, we have one common agenda. We reject the finance bill. We want jobs. We want you to deliver what you promised us. But this is Ruto's excuses.
And the president has accused Ford Foundation, church and opposition leaders of funding chaos. Sunday's remarks by President William Ruto that parents may have contributed to the chaos witnessed in a spate of deadly protests in the country may just have added to the long list of institutions or persons the head of state has blamed for the violent protests since the round of Gen Z-led demos began last year. From the Ford Foundation, the church, and leaders in the opposition benches, the list has been growing exponentially. And as Emmanuel Toh now reports, the target keeps moving.
The church service at the Bomani.
And of course, remember, these mainstream medias as well have been turning their backs on this regime. They have not been paying attention to what he says. Because remember, the last demonstration, they had to actually send police officers so that they could stop these mainstream medias from streaming the live demonstrations, because we had the authority. They stopped the radios, the TVs from operating. but for them, they still pushed it on. I feel like this is where we're talking about how people are realizing, especially these people working for the mainstream media, they're realizing that the more you keep on hiding the truth, the more you're losing your people, the more you're losing your numbers. People would rather go on TikTok, watch live videos of what is happening, rather watch Citizen TV or these other TV stations, waiting on you to come bring us nothing but lies. So they're starting to realize this, and I've been seeing they're even covering the truth, bringing truth back to back to back. We have mainstream medias now even reminding us of videos where we had these leaders continuously lying to us during political rallies of what they were supposed to go and deliver. Ruto just recently questioned, why is it that youth are demonstrating about lack of job opportunities right now? Why didn't we demonstrate during the other regimes? A very idiotic question to pose, a very stupid question to pose, because you did promise the people you're going to give them a job opportunity. So what do you mean right now that why are people demonstrating? Because since you became a president, you promised to deliver jobs. You understood the lack of job opportunities or unemployment in your country. That's why you went ahead and delivered promises to your people. You understood before taking this role of this seat as a president, the problems lying ahead in your nation, including the youth who are the majority. But there's nothing you've done. Like the white man said, the clock is ticking. It's about to explode. And when the explosion happens, none of you are going to be able to stop it. Right now, you're going to stop it with your petty police officers who are also going to get caught because they're getting caught right now. It's a war between the citizens and the police officers. We've been seeing that. You're not going to keep on killing us while we're fighting for you and we know how poor you are. You've been poorly paid. That time is over. That time is over. The time is ticking. And the bomb will explode. And you won't have water to calm the situation down. The fire will keep on burning.
AIC Machakos County Sunday set the stage and the tone for yet another target for the president to fire at in regards to the oscillating and moving target of those involved in sponsoring, aiding or abetting the deadly protests in the country. President William Ruto turning his guns on the family institution, accusing parents of abdicating their core duty of parenting by allowing their children to join the street action.
Every parent, including me, I take time to parent my children, and so must everybody. The police are trained to deal with criminals.
Let me tell you, our parents have trained us very well. As a matter of fact, if there's a generation that is still very well disciplined, it's the Gen Zs. I just fear for the alphas and the Gen Beta, this other generation. If there's a generation that is still disciplined, is the Gen Z, because we've grown up with the traits of our parents. Number one, being fear. You have to be scared of your elders. I'm supposed to be scared of your elders. I'm supposed to be, yeah, we've grown up with that. But also we've grown up with the consciousness and lack of fear of our parents at the same time, of not being taken for a fool. We're not stupid. You're not going to keep on telling me, oh, your parents didn't parent you well, that's why you don't understand democracy. My parents don't even know what democracy is. These people don't even understand what the term democracy is because you people denied them education. They didn't get the same education we have.
Exactly.
Because you kept them in fear. That's what we're talking about from the last article. You've kept people in fear. That's why the Rwandese are very silent about 99% of votes. That is okay for them. That's why they're silent. That is the type of generation.
They're scared.
That is the type. This is what Ruto wants, and this is what most of these puppet leaders want. They want silent people. They want people who cannot talk. You know, you should be okay. I'm a big man syndrome. How dare you question my good suit? How dare you tell me I'm not supposed to be growing a balloon stomach? How dare you tell me my wife is not supposed to be driving a car with bulletproof? How dare you tell me my daughter, my sons won't have nganyas in the country. How dare you tell me my sons and daughters will not have matatus in the country? How dare you tell me that? And I dare tell you that after my sons and daughters have matatus on the street, you will board that matatu and you'll pay for it despite transport being expensive. That is the type of dictatorship they have kept us in. But no more.
Of course.
No, Ruto is wrong. Our parents actually taught us very well. We're just different. We're street smart, not like our parents. We're street smart. We're politically smart. We're educationally smart. We're just smart. And that is what is actually making you think, oh, you know, me as a parent, I've taught my children very well. You as parents, you need to. None of our parents told that. Our parents actually didn't even know we're going to the demonstrations, let me tell you. Most of our parents didn't. My parents didn't know I went to the demonstrations until I told them. Nobody called me, hey, Joby, don't go to the demonstration. It's dangerous out there. Nobody. No one. Most of the Gen Zs went outside because we're the ones facing. Our parents are there asking for money. These people are sitting comfortably on their sofas, not because they didn't do well during their youth time. Oh, do you have $200? I start a new business. I just thought, what? Excuse me?
That's the $200 again.
That is the truth. No, that is the truth. It's the truth most people don't want to hear, but that is what most of our youths are living on. You don't have a job, but you have a parent who didn't fight for this nation, nagging you, hey, I don't have food, you know, the business is not doing okay. How is that my goddamn business? Thank God you have a business. I don't have a job. How do you even know I'm surviving? Thank God you tried to start up a business. That's the best you could do. You could have done better because the economy was actually way fair during that time, more than our time. I remember there's a time my dad told me, during you guys' time when you grow up, economy is gonna be super tough. And I thought this was a joke. Now I see it. Like, I didn't understand what this guy was talking about. I'm like, you never make sense. You know?
You never make sense. It's crazy.
You never make sense with anything, you know. So you because you're not able to finance other things, you think now the economy is gonna be tough on my time. Oh yeah, it is tough. It is really, really tough.
It is.
Because we didn't understand politics, being honest, and because it's not also taught in school. It's not taught. So when you talk about, oh, your economy is gonna be tough during your time, you're like, economy tough? What? There is money. What do you mean? You're paying rent. I'm going to school. You know, I'm about to finish school and get a rich boyfriend. That's the also most of the women. A woman in her own fantasy is gonna be like, I'm gonna get me a rich boyfriend. I'm gonna get married. You know, life is gonna be la vida doca. You see, la vida doca or what? Life is gonna be good, but it's not. Your presidents are here to oppress you, and this is the system globally. This is globally. Again, Africa, yes, we face the most, but we need to also understand this is a system designed globally.
Yeah, you face the most because that's where everything Africa was all the resources come from the power of the world. So your oppression is going to be much more than anybody else. They can give everybody fake symbols of freedom. In Africa their freedom is gonna be even more oppressed because that's where everything comes from, the power of the world. So, so that's why you're gonna have school fees. Most Africans are gonna be ignorant. You're not gonna know how things actually really work. You're not gonna stand politics. You're gonna be told propaganda. You're not supposed to know politics. You're supposed to worship this big man. You're supposed to love all white people that steal from you. So you're gonna be told all amount of lies. And if you're able to maneuver that and get to your age and come on the other side and actually know the truth, hey, so that's why so imagine you had 1 million Jobies in Kenya. You overthrow the government. It wouldn't exist. That's why they're trying to make sure you don't have that.
Exactly. We would have overthrown, but Museveni would be long gone. You know?
Yeah, because that's why exactly, Joe. That's why education costs. That's why they got school fees in Africa, because they don't want you educated. And then when they do educate you, it's mostly bullshit. So then you inundate with propaganda and religion. That's why Africa's over religious on purpose. So this is all a level amount of control, because you sit on all the wealth that powers everybody on the planet, Joe. And the Africans not to know that. You're not the you look around, man, Africa's poor. Look what I see on TikTok and Instagram where everybody live in China and live in Europe and America. But you have no clue because you're uneducated. All that stuff comes out of the ground of Africa. That everything in Africa was made to build everybody else's civilizations and everybody's empire. So like you said, you know that. Like you said, like when they dig in gold, and then they go get $2 for moonshine. They don't know that little bitty speck of gold is worth $3,500. It's more than that. Gold in winter, I think gold's like $4,000 an ounce.
It's a shame. This is what you see in talking the way he's talking.
And my children, and so must everybody. The police are trained to deal with criminals.
So, which part of, according to the constituency, practicing democracy, I'm not supposed to be termed as a criminal? I don't know where in part of the constituency it is written that if I go practice democracy, I'm a Constitution. Criminal.
No, you're not, because see that's why this is an oxymoron, right? It's but he says oxymoronic because he knows you're not supposed to know what democracy is. He works in a democracy. He works for you, Joby. He thinks you are his servants because he knows you don't know. So he knows most Africans don't understand democracy. In a democracy, Joby, he's your employee.
Exactly. That's not what we taught. Exactly what you say.
I know. And you're supposed to be able to fire him anytime you want. He works for you. You don't work for him. He's supposed to be there to do your bidding, your will.
Not true.
They are not trained in parenting.
The president calling on the parents to shield their children from being led astray.
Let us astray. Not use.
Let astray. Let astray for what justice. Let astray. And shout out to the Kenyan youth that took that guy's coffin and took it to the police station and stuff. You're not gonna listen. Kenya's too far gone, dude. You're gonna have a revolution there. Your people, your youth are too smart. You're not gonna be able to do the Paul Biyas and the Museveni's and the Kagames in Kenya. Nope. You're not gonna be able to do that there, dude. That youth have awakened. They're too smart. They're not, and with their intelligence, they don't have no fear anymore. And once they get complete no fear, they're gonna overthrow your police officers because they got the numbers. You can't kill enough of them. They're gonna overrun you, and that's gonna be it. That's gonna happen. Okay? And I know your white bosses are telling you, hey, you better tamper this shit. That's why they got the why do you think the UN is now moving from New York to Nairobi? Because they know they're losing their grip on Africa, and Africa must be kept at all costs.
Yep.
I think they moved from New York to Nairobi, and you puppets allow it to happen. Africa can't be lost at all costs. They lose Africa, that's it for their fake white supremacy and their fake superiority. That's why they know now, hey, we got to move this UN. The cats, we got to control Africa. We control it from Nairobi. We're going to bring the UN right there and keep all shit going. That way they can control all the terrorists and everything in there, and your country never be free. But I got a thing for you. And you're gonna build your privately fenced in homes, and you're gonna be okay. You stabilize the rest of Africa. They're gonna come for you. You're not gonna be safe. You're not gonna be safe. These puppets after puppets just saying just crazy stuff, just idiotic nonsense. Doesn't work anymore. 30 years ago, 20 years ago, you can say it with their parents. This other nonsense.
Continue.
Our children by inciting them to cause violence, to destroy property. Mmesikia msemo unaosema asiyefunzwa na mzazi wake, mnajua atafunzwa na nani?
A week ago, it was the church on the president's cross. President Ruto laying the blame of the chaotic protests at the doorstep of the clergy.
Hatungefika hapa vipi kama viongozi wa kanisa, viongozi wa siasa, viongozi wengine wote wanashiriki katika mambo ambayo inafanya vijana wa taifa letu la Kenya
They're not gonna
kufanya
be.
mambo ya maandamano.
They got a cowboy. At least he got a better hat. At least he got a better. At least he got a. At least he got a better hat than Museveni. He's got a cowboy hat.
Viongozi wenye hawana mipango yoyote, watu wa ukabila na chuki, watu wa kisirani na kuendesha vita na kupanga vita ya kuharibu mali ya watu wengine. Musikubali twende hiyo barabara. It cannot be that you are planning on how to incite young people, on how to pay young people to destroy people's businesses, to burn people's properties.
Exactly a year ago, civil society groups and some non-governmental organizations were also in the firing line, with the Ford Foundation taking the stray bullet.
Mimi nataka niulize watu wa Ford Foundation watuambie hiyo pesa wanatoa
Why, if that was the truth, why didn't you tell the Ford Foundation to get out of Kenya then, moron?
Exactly. Because we checked. Remember, we checked. We saw the Ford Foundation has been in Kenya for so long.
These are all these NGOs causing problems. They're the ones who are all these are NGOs, these are foundations like Bill and Melinda Gates. All these foundations are white people behind the scenes control Africa, who really write the policies, who really put the puppets in there.
Exactly. True. But as we literally get closer to winding up on our last conversation, like we talked about, of course, these leaders who have sat on this political seat for so long without letting go. We're checking on Paul Biya. We've seen Museveni. We've seen Kagame. We've seen Teodoro Obiang, of course, Equatorial Guinea president. We have also Denis Sassou. I don't know how to pronounce his name, from Congo, who has led the country for 41 years. And of course, last but not least, we have Isas Afwerki, when his EPLF topped Ethiopia in 1991 and now 79 has ruled Eritrea for 30 plus years.
What about the Equatorial Guinea guy? He's about 50, ain't 50 years.
I mentioned Equatorial Guinea.
Okay.
Teodoro Obiang, who is 83 years of age, has been in power since 1979. Paul Biya has been in power since
1983, 82.
For 43 years. He's now 92, but he has said he's going to again
run again.
Exactly. And he says, be rest assured that my determination to serve you matches the urgency of the challenges we face.
The challenges he faces. You've been there damn near 50 years, and your urgency of the challenge. The country's poor, the people are really backward, and you've been there for almost 50 years. You keep talking about the challenge. You've corrected none of these challenges, and that's why the French are coming in. And you don't even live half the time, guys. This moron, this is how bad the uneducated Cameroon. He don't even be living in the country. He don't even be there because the country's so backward. The services have never been produced. He lives in Switzerland most of the time with the cats. He lives in Switzerland and France the majority of the time where this moron lives. He's never even in the country. This is how crazy things are.
It's a shame. When you look at these things happening, then you hear someone saying politics is none of my business. Just get out. They get the hell out of my face talking that crazy.
But they don't know. They don't know it runs their life. They don't know that politics is how you live.
Oh, we need to know.
Of course.
We need to know. Oh, we need to know. It's great. Today again. Thanks to being smart and, of course, seeking knowledge always talking about knowledge every day right here on the Blackout Fire, helping each other to learn what is happening. I look at it. I look at everything nowadays politically. Trust me. I don't care if it's a meme.
Because everything is political, Joe.
Yes,
everything is political.
What do you mean this is a joke about my economy? You're not supposed to be making a joke about economics right now. I don't care it's a meme. Everything is so political. And this is the lie again. This is why you see Cameroonians, Ugandans, Rwandese, they might be silenced, but some of them are comfortable because we've been told. I believe this is an African.
Of course.
Politics is none of your business. Okay?
Of course you've been told that, Joby. Of course. And just like Burna Boy told you a few years ago, he told you, and this is true, he said all Africans, he said Nigerians, all Africans are raised in fear. It's a fact.
you'll see, you'll see, you'll see. You'll see a whole African. Kamlesh, you're confusing the shit out of me. Get out of here.
Who's confusing Canvas is?
Kamlesh, yes, he's making funny movements here. He's making.
Okay.
Yes, you'll see a whole African standing up saying that politics is none of my business. I understand we've not really been taught this, but when you're living in slums, politics is your business. When you don't have a
Yes,
job,
it is.
business. When your business
Yes.
also is not operating okay, there's something going on in politics. That's why your business is not moving on okay. Trust me, it's not like people can't afford buying clothes every day, shoes every day, whatever business you have. It's just that also the person who's supposed to come support you, help your business grow, is also suffering. So there's something wrong within the cycle of how money is supposed to be operating, and it's all a problem. It's a problem, and we need to address it. This is why you see Kenyans are being called criminals for addressing that,
Cr-
treasons for
cr-
addressing that.
criminals for doing what was constitutionally. See, most Africans on the Kenyans are called criminals for doing what's constitutionally their right to protest bad governance. That's
Mhm.
your right. But see, most Africans are uneducated. That's why when you guys with the Tanzania, like, oh, you Kenyans are causing so much trouble. We just let people beat us in the head. Why are you Kenyans? You see, Africans are used to being, I hate to say, suckers and getting treated like shit. The Kenyans are saying no more. That's why Kenyans now are getting respect. The youth are getting respect. No one respects cowards. You understand this? You Africans, no one respects it. That's why Kenyans be called the giants of Africa, because the youth are being respected. Y'all, you other ones are cowards. Oh, we don't want any trouble. We just want to live in poverty and be left alone. Oh, I don't want to live in no poverty. I want to be all messed up in the richest continent on the planet. And I'm not supposed to be poor. Everybody's stealing from me. China's all new. Europe still looks good. America, well, fuck that. I'm not supposed to live in no poverty. You crazy? You sound crazy. Get out of here.
Let me. So apparently, we have 81 candidates seeking to run for the presidential seat now in Cameroon. One.
She looks old as hell too. How old is this lady? This the lady?
This is a man.
But before her, Cameroon,
Oh, it's a man. Oh, that good.
candidates in the
How old is
race
he?
for president.
75? These old ass Negroes. What?
81 president.
Oh, he's 81. Oh yeah.
No.
Jesus Christ. Oh, okay.
No, 81 candidates, keep.
Oh, Candy. Oh,
Candidates seeking for this presidential seat. This is
probably
crazy.
all puppets. Well, no, that idea is good, but they probably, I'm sure the French got all their puppets already lined up. If they do want to change them out, they just don't change them with another puppet. Then Africans are so ignorant, they'll drum, yeah, we got change.
Mm.
And it's the new boss, same as the old boss nonsense, because you haven't understood that they got complete control of your country. And like even Torre, you got to break down the fake electoral systems that the Europeans put in there. All your elections are rigged. They're all fake. They're all phony. So shout out to Ibn Torre who said that. He don't want to be out and say these elections are fake. These things, they run by Europeans. That's how they rig the elections. All our elections in Africa, all of them. And he's right, are run by Europeans. So this is a fact. So how can you be a free and sovereign country and the Europeans run all your elections? These are facts. He told the truth. He said the Europeans run all elections in Africa. So I'm going to dissolve this. You got people trying to be all fake on there. What do you feel about even Torre dissolving the electoral process? No, he didn't dissolve the electoral process. He said the Europeans will no longer be in control of the electoral process in Burkina Faso like they are in every African country. He said, if you don't believe me, go ask. He said, from Nigeria to Kenya to whatever you at, it's the Europeans control the elections in Africa. So they pick their fake rulers and rig every election.
Anyway, as we get to wind up with this.
81 candidate applications were made to the national body in charge of organizing elections until the deadline on Monday at midnight. The flood of applications remains dominated
And I'm going to tell you, all these people are evil. Okay, we're gonna call a spade a spade. No more. Shout out to Nigerian guy told the truth. Your politicians in Africa are evil. They're not just despite the evil. Because you can have a people live in poverty the way you do in Africa. So African poverty is inhumane. How can you sit back driving your goofy fancy car? I'm the big man, and your people live in these crazy slums without no plumbing and regular, just regular human, huh?
Because I'm the big man. I want you to see me.
Yeah, that's evil. And like Joe, and like you said, the same thing Joby said about the people coming out. You know who I am? You know who I am? No, I'm not supposed to give a damn who you are. You work for me. That's what the Nigerian guy told me. You always get people talking about, you know who I am. I don't even know who you are. If you're in the government, you're supposed to work for me. I'm not supposed to know who are. You know who I am. You know who I am. That's why the country, and they've been pulling this scam. The Europeans have set up Africa with psychopaths. Okay, like evil criminal Museveni is an evil criminal psychopath. Kagame is an evil psychopath. Ruto and even Uhuru, an evil criminal psychopath. Oh, you mean Uhuru was a little better? No, moron. You know how much money Uhuru stole from Kenya? $500 million. It's all in the banks in the Cayman. These are facts. These are facts. His whole family was just stealing, looting the shit out of Kenya. I don't care how nice he talks, how you like him as he's part of your goofy tribe. See, I would tell you Africans, that's not the Joby. I just think what Joby was saying now, I understood it. See, you consider culture your goofy tribe. So that's why you said African Americans, all you goofy Africans said we don't have any culture because we're not tribal. We're the culture of the planet. Everybody knows that. But we're not a tribe. So you say we have no culture because we don't claim a tribal bullshit. Your tribe doesn't help your tribe with bullshit. That's why you can't unite. And that's why the biggest festival is the African American festival in the world. We're not tribal, so that's why you say we don't have no culture. No, it's all African people came together during slavery. We had to get rid of the tribes, guys. And then we merged all African cultures together, right? And like I said, that's why a lot of you African Americans get crazy when you see Kenya, Tanzania thing. Remember, the slave coast, the Portuguese took slaves from Kenya and Tanzania and took them from Zanzibar and then took them all the way around to Brazil. That's why you got the damn Kamba people in damn Brazil right now. Took them up to America. So that's why you got Kenya and Tanzania also mixed with West Africa and Central Africa in your genetics. Okay? So we had to come together. We couldn't play no more. So that's what I did. That's what Joby educated me. We seen you as another tribe, and she's right. And they're telling the truth now. And they're mad. We came here, we treated it, we come from dirtbag cultures and tribalism. We undercut each other. Go ahead, Joby.
They don't know. I feel like the only race we don't question about tribalism is this other race, being honest. But you see, because for me, it used to bother me. I'm like, these people have tribes and all that, but it's not that deep of a thought you'd give it because it's just not there, you know. But with an African, I go somewhere where there's a fellow African. I mean, I come from Kikuyu. Kikuyus, we have a certain sort of culture. So you're black.
Exactly.
You kid. What's
I know.
What's your
exactly? See, we didn't know that, Joby. We didn't know that. Exactly. So we didn't understand. So that's where we don't have culture bullshit came from. We're the country of the planet. Everybody knows that. So I'm like, where does this not having culture shit come? I said, oh, we're not the tribal culture. Go ahead, Joby.
I eat ugali every day. You guys want to tell me you all of black Americans, you eat macaroni and cheese. That's you guys.
That is macaroni and cheese. We created a whole different See, we have a bunch of so imagine this. Okay, we got Africans. Okay, let's say you got Africans all mixed up, right? Come from Kenya, Tanzania, Angola, Mali. I'm gonna name all the empires. They weren't countries. Mali, Angola, Congo, which you call Nigeria, Ghana, Senegal, Guinea, Gabon, Burkina Faso. So all these people go into this amalgamation of the Atlantic slave trade, right? So they become mixed up, Joby. We're all mixed up. Okay, so we're all mixed up. So we take all these different cultures and make them one. because we can't say I can't say whatever the tribe I came from Angola or Congo or Kenya or Mali or Nigeria, that doesn't exist no more. So now we all become one group, right? And so we take cultures from all those different groups. We put the cornbread, the jambalaya, the this, the that. That becomes the culture, Joby. But we don't call ourselves a tribe.
I get it, but
Yeah.
to Akikuyu's house, there's a Kikuyu who doesn't eat fish because fish is mostly eaten by Luos in Kenya.
Yeah.
You'll go to Luo's house, they don't eat potatoes because potatoes are mostly consumed by Kikuyus in Kenya. It's just
Fucking crazy.
yeah, I swear, this is real. When you hear about
I know. I believe. I believe you, but see.
there's a fight in East Africa. It's also real in most of the African, these other countries because I've gone to, like, personally, I think growing up, we didn't eat lots of potatoes in my father's house, being honest.
Okay.
Okay. I ate a lot of fish.
but damn, okay. But potatoes are delicious. So why would I eat them? Because the Kikuyu eat them. So that's the craziness of this. So that's what I did. I said, what is this thing they keep saying we have no culture shit coming from? I get it.
In high school, I used to eat fries a lot, like a lot. In high school, I was really, really chubby. So I became, as I became extra chubby, then I remember my mom made a very nasty joke. But
wow.
Offensively, I even started watching my weight now. I'm like, that's when I started literally watching my weight. I'm like, if it's too much,
be careful what you do with your children, guys. That's dangerous. When you body shame your children, be careful.
She said Kikuyus are always called in proper fractions, okay? Because they don't have the right
body shape. They're not proportioned. They're not proportioned.
Find their big on the chest, they're small and they're like super tiny. So I remember she said you're gonna become an improper fraction if you're not careful. I'm like, huh? Yeah, I said you're gonna become a Kikuyu if you're not careful. You're gonna start looking like I'm like, what?
See, I'm not trying to say nothing, but yeah, now I see. If you guys know, Joby knows something. Joby know what I'm talking about without saying it.
Done. So for me,
I know. See how close Joby is like a daughter. She knows exactly what I'm thinking, and we laugh without me saying. Because I know she know too. That's why she said, "Don't say it."
It shocked me because I was not really like big on the or small on the because I'm proportionate, So I was like, what is she talking about? Are you saying I'm becoming chubby? Because if you're saying I'm becoming chubby, that makes sense. And I'm becoming chubby wholly, not one
disproportionate. You're not disproportionate.
So I started working out. Like that's when I started literally working out in Form 2. Going from 3, my dad and I got in. I think that's the only time we ever bonded with my dad seriously because we used to work out in the evening and in the morning, every morning and in the evening after school.
I don't think you're fat, Emil. I don't think you're fat. Fat where? I think your family's messed up in the head. I've seen you on TikTok, Emil. You're not fat. Fat where? Anyway, I see you.
It's crazy.
Exactly, he's not fat, but yeah, guys. So now I understand. See, I need Joby to bridge the gap. God, I didn't understand what's the non-cultures. What are they talking about? We're the culture of the planet. Oh, we're not tribal. A specific tribal culture. That's what you're meaning. Now I get it. I didn't, and you. Morons, when you came over here, you act against us like just because you thought we were a whole different tribe. We didn't know nothing about no tribe. We loved you as African people. We didn't know you were going to be dirtbag and call us a different tribe. We loved you as African. We thought you were black like us. We didn't know you were going to say, oh, these black Americans, different tribe. We're going to undercut. And now you're getting upset because the African Americans saying they're going to now show you. I don't agree with it. They're going to show you, okay, you want to be a different tribe? Now they're going to boycott your businesses. They're going to destroy you financially. Because you came over here with, because a lot of you guys came over here with bootlegs because America don't allow no righteous Africans over here. You got to go to that visa thing about living there. You love white people, right? Yes, I love you.
As we wind up, I see Emil, shout out to Byron Scott, John Mosquito. Emil
Oh,
says,
thanks for the 15. I don't know. I've never seen Joby as chubby. Well, a little bit. She showed me one thing. I don't think she was even. I don't know if Joby was chubby, a little heavier. I don't know if she was chubby, but anyway, I'm used to seeing Joby skinny. Anyway, anyway, truly, because Shamani and Joby, well, Shamani back in the day, if they were tall, they had the perfect mod. They had the mod, since they were pretty enough to be they had the actual physique, body size. Joby and Shamani had the size to be actual models, right? The white people model. They love them skinny and tall. You got to be tall. You got the model. They want you at least 5'10". They want you 6 foot over, but at least 5'10", and have that body shape. But anyway, like I said, what was I saying? I forgot. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but anyway, my love family, I'm trying to see if I can find one of the pictures I show you guys. When I joined Black on Fire, I was really, really chubby. Like, I think because of just taking
No, I never say you're no chubby. No. Joe might have a little, maybe normal weight. When she joined, I don't think Joby was chubby. I didn't know Joby was pretty yet till I kept seeing a couple of. That was attractive. Cause I needed Joby to do something. I was looking for somebody. I was training Joby to be something, so I wasn't looking at whether she was. Cause I didn't know. Cause I didn't even know. I thought Katie was fat. Katie wasn't fat. I thought I first seen Katie, because Katie got like a round head. I said, and then Spike said, "Well, I think we should hire her." I said, "Damn, we gotta hire the fat girl." Spike said, "She's not fat." I said, "Oh, I thought she's fat." I don't be knowing.
I'm gonna share on the WhatsApp chats, you guys.
Okay. All right, go ahead, share.
And you see, I was not fat, I was just chubby. And when I say chubby, I don't like getting
in your face.
Yeah,
your face, yeah.
I really hate it. I don't like it. Because even right now, I've gained some weight and I can see it on my cheeks. Like, I can literally.
Of course, we always see the face. That's how I know I'm fat. I can see it in my face now. That's how I knew Shamani was gaining weight. I don't want to say she was fat because her face got round.
Anyway, much love, family. Have yourself
much love.
See you guys later on.
You guys
remember to tune in on YouTube and of course on the radio. I'll be the captain. They see what videos we shall be sharing. Always educative, funny. So ensure if you want to laugh or have a laugh, tune in and see what's up. But peace. See you guys later.
Peace, family. Like I said, Mel, thanks for the $15 donation. I seen it. Now I know who sent that $7.